Welcome to Vulnerability, Introspection and Growth, the podcast where we explore the beautiful, messy and transformative magic that happens when we dare to go within. I'm your host, Robin Harris, and in each episode we'll dive into real, honest stories from people who've faced their fears, embraced their vulnerabilities, and discovered unexpected growth in their personal lives, careers, or businesses. This is a space for deep listening, open hearts, and soul-nourishing conversations. Because when we meet ourselves in our rawest moments, that's often where our greatest wisdom starts. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Vulnerability, Introspection and Growth. And today I'm so excited. I've just been saying to this guest for today how good a fit I think she is for this podcast and how much her story is really going to drill into the whole idea of vulnerability, embracing our vulnerability, going within and achieving growth from that. So, to introduce my guest today, I have Anneli Johansson with me. Welcome, Anneli.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here. And when I read or looked into your blog, it was just that connection I saw, like the authenticity, like being truthful and the growth with that. I like that.
Thank you very much. So, who is Anneli? She is a coach, mentor, and author who has turned her own story of breaking apart into a lifelong mission of helping others rise. She didn't let childhood trauma or later on a burnout define her, but instead they became the fuel for a 13-year journey of deep transformation, shaping the powerful coach she is today. Trained through Tony Robbins and Chloe Madani's life coaching program, Anneli supports midlife individuals in navigating emotions, relationships, and life choices with grounded clarity in this passage of life. Authentic, empathic, and courageously present, Anneli inspires not through perfection, but through honesty and humanity, and I love that. She calls herself a smile creator because she chooses to see things from the bright side, share what is good while providing a safe space to help people finally feel at home in themselves. And if you've been following me at all, you'll know that's exactly what my work and my purpose is all about as well. It's those safe spaces and that safety to feel at home within yourself, and how that is what we need. We need that safety in order to get to that point, in order to heal. So Anneli, just to help us tune in and really get stuck in here, what makes your story relatable to others?
In one way, I think that there is quite a lot of people that have been into similar things. Everybody has a story. Everybody has been putting identities on top of themselves along this life where we are going to perform and do and do and do and do. And then quite a lot of people lose themselves when they come up to the midlife, when you grow out of the family and you kind of get there. And I believe that life is too short to live in the past or live as a limited version of all the power you have within. So I believe that my story can help those people that hear this or see it to save time, money, and pain and health, even if they can stop in time and not continue on that path, which is not theirs.
Wonderful. And who do you feel will gain the most from listening to this conversation?
I believe it is men and women that are similar to me, similar story, people that kind of had a good life or have still family, money, career, whatever, they have it all, but they kind of feel lost. They feel that isn't it more to life than this?
Absolutely. That what looks good on paper maybe doesn't feel so good from the inside. And that can be really challenging. So, what do you hope people will take away from this conversation?
One thing I think that like it's never too late to change. You're not too old. I mean, I've talked to people that are 80 and they still keep on like, oh, I want to do this. They're curious and they keep on going because it's never too late to make tomorrow, today better, as
And
long as you are here.
that keeps us young, doesn't it? That curiosity, that
Yeah,
willingness and openness to learn more and to grow more.
totally, totally.
And as we heard just now in your bio, you describe yourself as a smile creator. But that can bring its own challenges for us. And I was wondering if you would tell us a little bit about what those challenges are and your perspective on that.
Absolutely. I say that I call myself still a smile creator, and my business is like creating smiles by Anneli. Because in a way, I've been doing that all the way since I was a toddler. I was told that, oh, she's always this calm, nice, giving, helping child. And then I grew up and I always love to help, especially people that suffer more, that have less. I love it. Like when I can ignite the spark in someone's eye and they realize that, oh, I can do it too, or it's better. But it's both a blessing and it's a curse because I can use it to give to others. And you, all of you can do that too. It's for free and it gives so much in return. But it's also a curse. And I don't know if it's only in Sweden, but a lot of people tend to see the facade, right? They see the smile and oh, she's always so happy and blah, 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 blah. And I mean, I'm also a doer, a generator by design. So I kept on doing, doing, doing. And from trauma that I have early in age, I had a strong protection shield as well. And what is easier to hide behind than that smile that, oh, I'm so strong. I saw this, I'm that. And then I was just crying within until I got this so valuable hug from a colleague that actually saw through that. So it's a blessing and a curse, but I prefer to focus on the blessing because seeing things from the bright side make life so much easier and brighter.
I completely agree, but it is that awareness, isn't it? That smiles are
Yeah.
wonderful and they can lift another and we can give in that way. But it's also about what am I really feeling? Not just smiling because that's what is expected of me,
Yeah.
which so many of us can do. We can get into that rut of, well, like you say, you're the nice, happy, smiley, friendly person who helps others, have been since you were tiny. So that's the mold that we squeeze ourselves into because we feel that's what's expected of us. And that's what keeps our connections, we believe, that I need to be this particular person because I've always been that person. That is my label. You are the smiley one. But that can also be restrictive and it can mean that it's challenging for us to express how we really feel if that's not how we're really feeling. And like you say, when you get a hug from somebody who sees beyond the facade, am I comfortable with that? Is that okay? Does that make me feel vulnerable, exposed, cracked? So yes, I agree. To smile and to be a smile giver is wonderful, but to be realistic and to be grounded and to be authentic also. We don't have to be only smiley.
No, absolutely not. And most of all, to be aware. And that has come actually the last couple of years during my personal development when I am with coaches and friends that are really like honest. When you kind of get into some emotional or you get into like, because I've learned that if you are having a deep discussion with someone and it touches something that is not really healed, then is that lump comes in your throat. And then if ha, I laugh it away, or I used to, and I have a friend, she goes like, don't laugh at that. That's serious business. And when you become aware of it, so you can notice that you actually have used it as a protection as well, to not go within. that is real good teachings, I would say.
And I love that. Listening to your body, how does your body tell you? So for you, you get that lump in your throat, other people might be a knot in your stomach or whatever it is. But just to be aware and to be kind of alert to those signals. Oh, there it is. What is it telling me? And it's just that simple question of, I wonder what that has to share with me today.
Yes.
Just to compassionately, with curiosity, explore that.
Yeah, and if it's emotional, just let it come so you can get it out. I say, who suppressed my emotions for like 40 years.
It's easy to say in
yeah.
hindsight, isn't it? Once we've realized that suppressing actually isn't serving anybody. It's not serving us. It's not serving the people with expectations who want to keep us in a particular box. It's not
So
serving
true.
anyone. Yeah.
No, it's not.
So you've been through a burnout yourself. What would you say brought you to that point of burnout? And what would you say you've learned from it?
I would say it was like a variety of things that brought me there, but one of them was like the childhood trauma I have that a night when I was 8, my mom actually tried to commit suicide and leave me. So at that night, this one as a kiddo decided that, okay, she's leaving, then I have to step up and be strong. And as an 8-year-old, you don't really know what it takes to be strong. There's a lot of adult people that don't know that either, by the way. But I put on like, to be strong, I can't show myself weak, which means that I can't cry, I can't say the wrong answers, I can't do this or that. So it made me hold myself back in all areas of my life. But I still have, I'm a generator by design, so I do a lot and I'm very energetic. And with that pattern from pleasing my mom, I became a very good diplomat. So that gets draining over time when you can't express what you feel and you're doing, and you feel that you want to people to tell you that you're doing good enough, and you don't get it. So it's like an ongoing spiral. So it led up to that point where this morning when this colleague came up and told me that, Anneli, I think you need a hug, and I got a hug. And he left, and 3 hours later, I went home from work. So super grateful for that moment, because that moment took away the last protection I had. I was very tired, so it would have come, but I might have been playing charades in that work another year. I don't know. And then maybe I wouldn't have been here as happy and healthy today, because the longer you go with that fatigue and this, when resisting the body's signals for you to stop, the worse the breakdown will be. And it takes longer to go through the wall, because I don't see that you go in the wall, because that's so definite. I see that you go through it to the light on the other side, because that really ignited the next chapter. And I've learned, and there has never been an option to give up for me. It just doesn't exist. As long as you can breathe, you keep on doing and you keep on moving. So when I kind of got back into a little bit of more energy after resting a bit, what can I learn from this? I decided to understand. So I got into a lot of personal development. I started with Tony Robbins and seminars and coaches, mentors, whatever, and to learn from how it brought me there. And then I realized it was the childhood thing as a start, and then all those things I start, unwinding this after this after this. And that eventually took me to becoming a coach in 2019, because I thought, why not use my experience to help others? Because there are quite a lot
Absolutely.
of people out there.
Yeah. I think a lot of people who get into the well-being space, that is their
Mm-hmm.
story. They've found
Yeah.
something that has helped them out of a very dark, very difficult, very challenging place.
Yeah.
And they want to give from what they've learned to support others so that they don't maybe have to hit quite such a rock bottom, or so that they don't feel alone, or so they don't feel helpless. Because
Yeah.
that's my story too. And when you say about being a generator and just there is no option of giving up, I'm a generator too, and I have that same sense. I wonder if that's part of the generator dynamic, the generator design. Because very much it is that if you're here, then you are here for something. And like you
Yeah.
say, the generator doing. I'm
Yes.
exploring how it can be more being and less doing. But there
Yeah.
is that drive to, I don't know, find answers. I've got that curiosity, just there is no end to where we can go with something. You can just keep asking questions and finding out more and developing more and
Yeah.
therefore sharing more, hopefully, in ways that are supportive to others.
Yeah.
So, what was it, your burnout, or what was it that inspired you to go through all of this change and to embrace what you describe as the new all of me, Anneli?
I mean, it was along the journey. I mean, you open one door that leads to another door. And then quite some years ago, I started with network marketing because I saw like corporate is not for me anymore. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but this is certainly not me. And to open door after door, and I tried and I worked and I did all the right things, but still it didn't work. Time after time, and even my uplines, they say, "Oh, what's wrong?" Like, not what's wrong, but what's happening? Like, you're doing it all. And then I eventually learned that you can have, I mean, you can invest millions in strategies. If you don't believe it in here, or if you have a different blueprint of what you can achieve or who you are, most of all, who you are, the identity of you, then you will never achieve it. You can you can do until you get worn out or even die, but it won't happen because your subconscious are so strong. So what's going on? I think one of my greatest learning, one of them, I just that so much of that is going on behind the curtain under the subconscious, that to be able to bring that up in the open, to really hear what's going on, so you can see the voices, the people, and the tiny little child in there that has been screaming for being seen for so many years. And when she finally come out and we can start playing again, because I do believe that we can't have a backpack, you put it in and then put it away. Like, no, I'm done with that. I just leave it. Because whatever you experience through life, you put it in a backpack. But when it starts like, oh, it doesn't feel good here, then you can bring it up and look into it and see what is it that moved and what is that is triggering me now. And then you can unfold it and put it back so it's softer. So continue with that. And what I mean with that is also like you bring your story when you learn from it and you bring it to where you are today. It's actually beneficial because the teachings I have from growing up with a mom like that, I became very strong. I became very sensitive. I'm very intuitive with people I meet and I can sense them. And that is so useful in my coaching. And she, I mean, I've forgiven her because she did as good as she could with what she had. It's not like, oh, why, if she hadn't talked like that around the kitchen table for the, I could have been. And that's true. But on the other hand, I wouldn't have had the other things that made me to the one I am today. So who you are today is a mix of all the things you have experienced. Your job, I believe, is to choose what meaning you give to it so you can use it as fuel instead of an excuse for not getting anywhere.
I think going back to that backpack analogy, it sounds to me like, yes, we pick up lots of experiences along the way, and the ones that maybe are less heavy and less challenging for us, we just fold them up. They're not quite soft anyway. We put them in the backpack and we carry on. And actually, that was quite a nice experience and it fuels me to keep on going. The ones that are maybe more traumatic and we don't have or don't feel that we have the resources in that moment. So we wrap it up and we stick it in the backpack and we think, I'll deal with that later. But quite often in our society, I don't think we do because it requires us to stop. It requires us to get vulnerable. It requires us to take out that package that we've wrapped up and buried at the bottom of the backpack somewhere for a reason But now it's asking us to take the backpack off, to dig down, pull that thing out again, unwrap it, and take some time with it, to sit with it. Because in sitting with it, we can start to explore everything that comes up, all those feelings and emotions and bodily sensations like the lump in the throat or the knot in the stomach, and let those wash through us. And then to be able to say, right, this is what I learn from this. This is the thing that will expand me, that I will grow from, that will fuel something that resonates for me, that is, as you say, it aligns with your design. It's right for me. And I can just feel there's a lot of something in there that's really rich. But the rest of the stuff, because I've allowed it to process, the rest of the stuff I can now either let it go, if that's what the terms that people find they like to work with, or I love Jack Cornfield, who says, let it be. Let it be, and it'll come and go of its own accord. So that what was heaviness, we can let go. We can put it down and we can leave it behind because we've processed it. We don't need it anymore. It's surplus to requirements. We've taken on board the learning that was for us in that situation, and we leave behind what we no longer need. And in the work that I do, meta-consciousness, that's basically how we see trauma. It's something that comes in that we're not able to deal with in that moment, so we put it away somewhere. And we hold it in our body, like Bessel van der Kolk says, the body keeps the score, until we're ready to unpack it. And when we unpack it, we take on board the learning and we let go of the rest because it's energy that we no longer need. And I can't remember who was it. Was it Gabor Mate or somebody said that it's like carrying a suit of armour. We think of it as protection. Like my smile might be my shield at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in time, that armour becomes heavy, cumbersome, uncomfortable, and it doesn't allow us to grow. Because it's solid. It's like a shell. And a crab has to take off its shell or, grow a new shell, or a hermit crab out of one shell and find another one that's slightly bigger. Yeah. And I think that backpack analogy that's how I see that. And then once we refold the stuff that is good for us, it's light and it's fuel again, and the other stuff we don't need. So the backpack is light again.
So true.
I love metaphor and analogy and stories that help us to see things maybe more clearly.
Yeah, to see it with a different eye. I know Michael Singer, I think it is. He talks about life like a stream of water, and there is those rocks in it, some small, some bigger. And if you put a lot of it, the stream won't be able to follow through. And it's the same with the energy in our bodies. If there's too much things that is stuck, you will be stuck and you will be heavy, and eventually you will get sick from it as well. And that is something a lot of people don't think about, that your body is actually what you feel in your body is the language of your body, the things that are stuck in there.
But it's also the biological wisdom and intelligence of the body, because it's doing that for a reason. It's not doing that to beat us up. It's not gone wrong. It's not making a mistake. It's offering us opportunities for learning and growth.
We just have to stop and listen, like you said.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as we draw to a close, what key message would you like to share with those who are watching or listening?
I would say that one is that, because I'm in the middle of my life, and a lot of the people I help is there, and a lot of people think that the next chapter is something like it's the start of towards the end. And I think the opposite, it's a new beginning, because you have all the experiences. And if you don't get stuck here in the middle, you have so much more. So it's never too late to renew yourself. And all of you out there, remember that all of you are unique human beings. All of you are, and you have unique powers, energies, and you have everything you need inside if you're just willing to look inside and see it and take advantage of it.
That is
Because it's
so,
not out there, no place out there.
that's so true. And I often say that we can look outside for inspiration. We can look outside for ideas, maybe a little bit of support, but the answers that are right for me are within me. And for you are within you, whoever you might be.
I think I may add one very important one too, that is a learning from me who played strong for so many years of my life, is that being vulnerable or showing yourself vulnerable, that is actually being so FN strong. That is really showing your power, because that is when you connect to people. That is when people see you as the human you are, not like the, oh, she's so good or she's that, like all these facade things you compare yourself to others, but being authentic, being real, and allow yourself to be vulnerable and feel. And that goes most for the male ones, because I believe that they have more difficulties with that for some reason.
I think society has done men a disservice in that we have not, from childhood, we teach girls about feelings generally. This is a generalization, but we teach girls about feelings and vocabulary to express feelings and to explore feelings and connect and relate to feelings. We don't do that so much for boys. So how can we expect them to grow into men who are comfortable with feelings?
No.
But going back to what you were saying, oh yeah, going back to what you were saying about midlife is not the start of the slippery slope downwards towards an end. I was on a networking call with somebody last week, and they were saying they're in their 70s or late 60s now, and saying that every decade just gets better.
Yeah.
That's so lovely to hear from a person who's lived a fair few decades. Yeah. And they're hoping that their following, 80s and whatever are going to get better still. So something to look forward to.
Absolutely. I mean, keep on being curious. Keep on keeping the kid in you alive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And play and fun are so important, precisely for that reason.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Anneli. Just before we finish, would you tell people where they can find you, how they can connect with you?
Actually, one of the easiest way is to put in Creating Smiles by Anneli, Anneli, because there you find my webpage, you find my Facebook, my Instagram, most likely my LinkedIn too. Yeah, you find me wherever there is a blog and there is a YouTube, there is a little bit here and there.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I will be sharing Anneli's links in the notes below, so have a look at those as well. And join me next time for another wonderful guest. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying this series and you want to keep following. Thanks for listening today. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Vulnerability, Introspection and Growth. I hope it's given you a moment to breathe, reflect, and perhaps even see your own story with a little more compassion. If you find this conversation meaningful, I'd love it if you'd share, subscribe, or leave a review. It helps others find their way here too. Until next time, take gentle care, and remember, the journey inwards is where the real growth begins.